Yo, what is up, guys? This is, of course, your boy Bernie here, along with Pete and Brad.
What's up, guys?
What to do?
And today, guys, we're going to actually talk about a team that we probably profusely get frustrated or kind of crap on a lot, and that is, of course, the Chicago Bulls, because they continue to do bull-like things in the past the Michael Jordan era. And so, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of on the line this season, especially for this team. We talked about it 2 years ago. They were projected to be in the NBA Finals. They made the big trade for LaVine. They got DeRozan. They got Caruso. They got Lonzo Ball. Everything was supposed to fall their way. And ultimately, and they got Vucevic as well. And ultimately, it faltered. Like, this is probably the worst team setup, lineup, whatever you want to call it. Probably out there in the NBA for title contending teams. And so we, of course, have rumors again of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on the trade block. If you guys are watching the I'm Here Now advert from the NBA, they actually had a portion of it playing where they had and of course this is just me being conspiratorial. They had the New York Knicks subway line kind of come out, and then all of a sudden you see Zach LaVine. When really before, they had Jason Tatum in the Boston Celtics. I believe they had Embiid in Philly, and they had Zach LaVine in the New York Knicks. So Pete is jumping up and down, doing cartwheels for his new guy, Zach LaVine, coming soon to a theater near you. But we got to talk about this team, man. Like, it's starting to become the reality for the Chicago Bulls, and really it's starting to become what is the next move for the Chicago Bulls, because it seems to me that they continuously put themselves in this situation. So whoever wants to take it, what do we make of this Bulls team? Because I feel like we've talked about them ad nauseum in terms of the moves that they've made.
Yeah, it's just time to blow it up.
Yeah. You beat me to it, Brad. This is the number one blow it up team in the league, I think, right now.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do first, Brad, if you were them? Let's ignore Bernie's conspiracy theory about the Knicks. I don't like that one, so we're gonna abstain from discussing that one. What would you do first, Brad?
I would trade away Zach and DeMar so that our top picks like Kobe White and Patrick Williams can actually get a chance at developing. Especially Patrick Williams. Kobe White, I kind of think he is what he is, but he's been better. And he's still
not that bad last season. I was pretty impressed with him,
and he's still only 23. So give the kid a chance. Patrick Williams has had zero chance to develop underneath Zach, DeMar. And fire Billy Donovan too. I can't stand him because he does not. His offense is trash. Terrible. One of the worst coaches in the league. So yeah, just rip it top to bottom. Coach, 2-star players. They already extended Vooch again, so you're kind of stuck with him. But that's fine. He can be a vet for the young guys.
Getting towels.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little crass here for a second, but Billy Donovan is basically like the missionary position version of like coaching in the NBA. It's like you just know what you're getting. It's pretty much
a wild comparison, but it's true.
It's pretty straightforward.
Oh my
very
God.
dependent upon the other parties involved. But, these players aren't getting you over the top with Billy Donovan. Like, it's not the mix does not add up to a very happy ending. That was not where I was planning on going with that, but we'll just leave it at that.
My goodness.
Yeah, dude, I think Zach LaVine's got to go. I think DeRozan's all these guys have got to go, man. But the problem is that these guys just dig themselves deeper because they just re-signed Vucevic, right? I don't remember what it was. I think it was maybe was it a 4 for $80 he signed? Am I crazy?
Something like that. Yeah, I'll look it up.
I think regardless, it was probably too high. That being said, they had to because just the terrible, god-awful trade they made to get him in the first place, right?
3 years, $60 million.
3 for $60, yeah. That's not... I mean, for as far as Vucevic is concerned, I guess that's not that terrible, but still, I mean, you're signing a guy like that on a team that's going nowhere fast, so... Not really anything, but yeah, if I was them, man, I'm just trying to accumulate assets going forward. This team they have like little in the way of anything that actually is prospectively good in the future, and that really depends. Like, if you're still in on Patrick Williams, I guess you have that to go for. You got Dalen Terry, but there's just a lot of these guys that are just wasting away years of their career on this team. So, Zach LaVine, I would love to see LaVine go to like. Maybe this is a little controversial. I think he might be good Klay Thompson replacement in Golden State. I don't necessarily think you're ever going to get prime era Klay out of Zach LaVine. But there has been a lot of talk that this expiring contract that Klay is on, this is his last season in Golden State. If that's the case, I'm not saying trade them 1-for-1 or anything. I'm just saying LaVine, he kind of has some Warriors energy to me. I feel like he would work in that system pretty well, especially with his shooting. And they could get some young talent back in return. Not like they're going to get anything super great, but I think the hardest thing with LaVine is what are you going to get back in return for that contract? Like, you're going to have to sacrifice something in the way of the assets you get back because his contract is so big. So I think like getting somebody like Kuminga isn't that bad of a shout. You know, like he's a better young player in my opinion than anybody on the Bulls right now. And you guys know me, I'm not that big of a Kuminga guy. So
at this point, I don't even think the Warriors would trade Kuminga for Zach.
Yeah, they might not. I just think it's more a matter of like that's kind of the problem. Like if they don't want to re-sign Klay, why would they want to take on that giant contract for LaVine? That's you're not wrong. I just think he fits in their offense kind of.
Yeah.
He's another guy. Maybe he'd be a Spur. I think that wouldn't be a terrible shout either. You know, get some shooting, some veteran leadership, if you want to call Zach LaVine that. Bernie, what about you? What would you do first with this team?
I would do
Burn
everything.
It all down?
Yeah, I'm burning it all down. I would probably do something along the lines of just get rid of Zach LaVine, see if you can't get a first round pick out of him. Because you need to get assets now. Like they have completely, because I think to me what the stemmed down to is just Lonzo Ball injury, and it's just I think without Lonzo Ball being the key to ignite this engine for a team, it's hard to get these guys going and playing cohesively, because when Lonzo was healthy and he was playing with this team was looking really good. Like they were looking like the finals contender team that everyone was predicting them to be. But as soon as he went down, it was over from there. And even Caruso, the hustle guy that that was on that Lakers championship team, I think he also got hurt too. And so yeah, I mean, I think you do trade Zach LaVine, you trade DeMar DeRozan, and try to get assets back for them, and see if you can't start to kind of do a little soft landing rebuild like the Indiana Pacers did, and bringing in Halliburton, and try to find a similar player or similar that you think that will be kind of like a Halliburton, which will kind of soften the landing for you, so that way you're not going full rebuild and having to rely on 48 minutes of a Kobe White or even a Patrick Williams. Not saying that Patrick Williams can't be a guy that carries a team, but it's he's very young in his career, and if he ends up kind of moving up in that,
they still have Vooch too.
Yeah, and they have Vooch, which is a issue. They need to find a way to just make him a towel boy and a water bottle guy.
Wow.
It's gonna be a tough one. No, I'm just playing, but I just think that, in all seriousness, with Vucevic, like he's a good, like you said, Brad, he's a good veteran, a guy that can definitely boost the morale in there. But he's not winning you games, and I just don't think he's helping you in the next part of your timeline, which is you're starting to do a soft land rebuild.
That's what I don't understand is, like, even though Zach's contract is terrible, you could still get a good young player for him. Like there is a team that would take him, and you could get a good young player.
I totally agree. You just got to find one of these teams that's like creeping very close to the win now territory, and that is really the hardest balance, is finding that exact landing spot for Zach LaVine. Just because I don't think he's not good enough to qualify for like a team is going to go ass out for him, nobody is doing that for Zach LaVine at this point. But that's kind of why I think Kuminga, like that level of player, is somebody that is what Chicago should be looking at. A guy that is certainly underperformed the expectations based on their talent, but
whoa. Respect Kuminga, please. God, my ears. He hasn't even had a chance, to be fair.
I know he hasn't. It's a bad spot for him to be in. I'm just saying, technically, he hasn't necessarily shown like enough to be. A lot of people would not qualify him as worthy of somebody like Zach LaVine. I mean, he definitely is in terms of just the value of contracts and youth in the league, but from the outside looking in, Yeah, from the outside looking in, it's not as much of a one-to-one trade as I think people like us probably think it is, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe Carl Anthony Towns. Maybe they just pivot into like a new version of this team, like take DeRozan and Vucevic and turn him into Carl Anthony Towns or something like that. Like, I don't think that's good enough to get him, but something along those lines where it's not, they're not rebuilding because this team doesn't seem to want to do that. So maybe they
Which
just have
makes
to.
no sense.
It doesn't, but that might be the answer. Maybe they just pivot into somebody else's star that a lot of teams don't want.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting situation for the Chicago Bulls as, the rumors like I'm showing you guys here, Zach LaVine could be moved, the Bulls get off to a slow start or kind of are hovering
Which they
around
will.
500, which they probably will, like you said, Brad. We don't have any faith in this team. I don't think anybody really does, and so it'll be very interesting to see what moves are being made because, you say the stuff now, but if it actually happens, are you willing to move off this guy?
I have a prediction.
All right.
After they get smacked around in the in-season tournament, they're gonna blow it up.
Dang. Think they're getting smacked?
Yeah.
They're gonna get smacked, bro. If they play the Pacers, they'll get smacked. The Wizards could do it, but like they won't just because DeMar, Vooch, and Zach are like too talented to lose to the Wizards. But other than that,
am I crazy to say, are they really?
I think so.
Yeah.
I honestly think there might be one team or two teams in the whole East I think are as bad as Chicago. I think they're better than the Hornets, obviously.
I think it's like the Hornets and Wizards, but then other than that,
probably
they're gonna get smacked around.
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of the Chicago Bulls and their sudden need to trade Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan? If you're a Bulls fan, let us know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of all this? Would you guys blow it up? Would you guys keep it? We'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Again, all that stuff helps us out tremendously. And we've also appreciated the love that we've seen from these NBA preseason videos. And of course, the comments as well. We've appreciated all of that stuff. So continue to support the channel, continue to show those views. And we'll catch you guys on the next video of The Charge. Peace out, everybody.